Hi, what's up guys? I'm finally moved in. I have mostly got things set up. I think I've said before that I'm at 90% like unpacked. I'm more like at 90% now than I was before, and things are getting to be in the places they want. This room is cleaned up enough that I can actually use it. I thought today would be an excellent day to just show you. I'm pretty sure I've unpacked my entire manga collection. I thought it'd be an exciting day to just show you that before, here, I'm gonna take you off the tripod and show you, before I finish putting the bookshelf together with all of the stuff in that box there, I thought it would be good to give you a tour of my manga collection, my extensive manga collection. It's not that extensive anymore, but I'll give you some backstory to it first. So let me put this back on the stand. I was collecting manga for the most part while I was in high school. This was between around 2006 to 2008 was probably when I collected the bulk of my manga. So this was like me going to the bookstore and the used bookstore and getting what was there and available, but it was also, I believe it was Borders, when Borders was closing malls. For those of you who don't know, there used to always be two bookstores in the mall, everywhere. There were always two. There was Barnes & Noble and there was Borders, like everywhere. And then there were some other ones, like what was it, like Walden Books? Maybe it was Walden that closed. I don't remember. But at my mall in Flagstaff, Arizona, I'm pretty sure it was Borders, when they were closing, they were having like massive sales. Like things were on heckin' sales, and they had an extensive manga collection. So a lot of my manga for like teenage me came from that time when they were just clearing out their shelves, and I could get a lot of manga for fairly cheap because it's pricey. A lot of my babysitting money was going towards manga at the time. Almost all of it is from around that time. I continued collecting manga a little bit through college, but I do not think I have bought anything since I graduated college in 2012. So all of this now is like older stuff, and those of you who like keep up with manga, you might not even recognize some of these. I don't know if these are even like a thing anymore. A lot of these are completed series. A lot of these I don't have the entirety of this series. We'll talk about that as we get to them. I just want to show you what I have because now it's all back with me. I have spent since like 2012 not with all of my manga. It was all like stored at my parents' house because I just didn't have space. Now it's all here with me, so let's just go through all of it. We'll also go through my graphic novels. I don't know where every single one went because I was moving things around, but I'll show you what I've got for those two. So let's go through everything. Here we go. Okay, let's start at the top of the shelf because these ones are not actually mine. The Rurouni Kenshin, even though I was a massive fan of Rurouni Kenshin, and let me tell you, that is like the #1 letdown by a creator of my life is Rurouni Kenshin. We won't talk about it now. These are all my husband's manga. These ones are mine because I was that girl. I was super into Gravitation back in the day. Very fun anime made from that too. These are some of the, this is one that I have. Yeah, I was that girl. Maid-sama is one that I had started collecting as it was coming out, and that was around the time that I stopped collecting manga. But let's move on down here to my like highlight series. I have Fruits Basket. For some reason I'm missing this one though. 16 is missing here, and then in Chrono Crusade I'm missing 5. So I don't know if I like lent them to friends and they never came back to me or what happened, but I'm missing those two. I'm gonna have to replace them at this point. They're not in any boxes of books. So unless they turn up, like I need those two because these are fantastic collections. If you've never read Fruits Basket, this is like the slice of life manga. Her art style is gorgeous. The stories are complex in a way that like I can't even like describe properly. Like I can't even touch on like how complex every single character has, like a full complete story arc. Everyone is complicated in like very unique ways. The art style grows and changes as the characters grow and age. It's phenomenal. Fruits Basket is as good as everyone says, and I'm just telling you right now, you should definitely, some of these are like way beat up. Let's pull out one that's not as beat up so it doesn't look as sad. But if you haven't watched the new series, the new Fruits Basket series, the old one was pretty bad animation, but the new one is excellent, you guys. The new one is fantastic. Okay, and then Chrono Crusade. Chrono Crusade, I was obsessed with. This anime is also phenomenal, but this is another, well, it's the first one we're talking about today. This is a series where the manga and the anime are not that similar. It's almost like they are different versions of the same universe, and the ending is very different for both of them. They're both equally sad endings, but this is a really cool series. This is very, oh, look at this. I had a crush on him. Chrono's hot. But this is a fantastic series, and I don't have #5. Someday I'm going to replace #5, but I was so into this one. Got Codename Sailor V because she's my girl. She's my fave. I have the 2 Codename Sailor V's, and I have the first volume of Sailor Moon. This is one that like eventually someday I would love to collect all of Sailor Moon, but I wasn't collecting it back in the day. This is probably the most recent book and it look pristine condition because I never lent it to anyone. Whereas back here with Fruits Basket, these are like atrocities because of how many people's backpacks and how many people opening them. These first 6 that are in like the box, they're a little dangerous to take out. This one's like actually taped together. Like they're not in good condition anymore. But this one, fantastic condition. I would love to get all of Sailor Moon someday because it was a groundbreaking series. Then I have Furikuri FLCL, another one where the anime and the manga are very different, but like similar vibes. Like that's really, I love manga that are like that, like Chrono Crusade. Similar vibes, but totally different, like actual plot points happening. Like it's the same story, but it's a different version of the same story kind of thing. I love it. And so many manga are like that, where the anime is like twisting off in a different direction and doing some things differently, and it makes it really interesting to me. But this has my favorite line. I don't remember which volume it's from, 1 or 2, but it has my favorite line ever in it, and that is, she's like, and then you shall turn to yeast, the root of all bread making. I don't know why. That's the freaking most hilarious thing I've ever heard. This is, I think, an unfinished series by Clamp. At the time, this is all there was 3. And I'm not sure they ever finished this, but Legal Drug, Clamp is wonderful. Clamp is lovely. I was reading everything by them at one point. Death Note, I actually probably got these ones when these first came out, these first 2 volumes. I was reading Death Note as it came out up until the pivotal moment. And then, if you know, you know. And then I stopped reading it for years and years. And then I finished reading it, but I didn't buy the rest of the collection. Because I was reading it, like I was reading fan subs at the time. It wasn't out in the US. And I got these 2 as they were coming out. And I think around the time that these came out in the US was probably around the time I read about the pivotal moment. And then I had to read, it's like what is it, like 100 volumes after that. It's so long after the moment. And yet, these 2 are also 2 that I did read the whole series, but I had to read them either through friends or through fan subs, and so I didn't buy them myself. But Orin High School Host Club, another one, the manga elaborates, the series, the anime was great. The anime is fantastic, but the manga elaborates on a lot of the things going on in the anime and expands, and we get more nuance in the characters. It's such a good series. Someday I would love to complete this one just so that I have it, but there we go. XXX Holic, oh my god. The anime is not bad for this one. I'd say, I think Clamp got kind of the short end of the stick on some of their animes, just because they're so rich. Their stories are so rich and their art styles are so beautiful that I think it's hard to translate over. This anime was okay, I'll give it that, but the manga is like full of lore and fairy tales and fables and like superstitions and like deep and just fantastic. I would complete this one too if I ever like had a ton of money, because it's a long one too. And of course it ties over, this is the companion to Tsubasa, which we'll get over there. Actually, let's just jump ship. We'll just jump over there before we go to the bottom shelf, because most of those aren't mine anyway. Tsubasa. Ooh, I don't know that I have all of them. 22 had to be down here with Cardcaptor, but we'll get to it soon. I don't know that I have every single volume. I have everything that was out during the time that I bought this, and I don't think it goes to the ending. I don't think this is the last volume, but I have read the last volume. I had to find fan subs of it, but yeah. Oh, brilliant series. Clamp at its best. Everything is super amazing. If you love the characters of Cardcaptor, Tsubasa is like not related. Okay, they're the same characters, but they're not related. They're very different. And they're the same. Okay, I'll give you that too. Oh, what a beautiful, brilliant series. Like, Tsubasa's so pretty. Fi and Kurogane are like my faves. Oh, there's only ever like one on the cover. All right. I mean, look at this art style. If you're not familiar with Clamp and their gorgeous, gorgeous art, what are you doing reading any manga? Like, come on. Then we come on down here. My Cardcaptor Sakura series. Cardcaptor, this is another one. The anime was great, and I loved the anime growing up. This is a lot gayer, you guys. Everyone is gay in Cardcaptors. Just FYI. That's really Clamp in general. Everyone's gay, everyone's gay, everyone's gay. But in Cardcaptor, like, everyone is gay, okay? It's fantastic. It has so much more nuance. As you can see, Tokyo Pop started doing this terrible thing where they're the same and then they're different. This is the Tokyo Pop problem. This is not the editions that I bought or anything. This is just, look at this. Look at this. That was them. That was not me. I'd have bought them all looking the same, but that was not how it was at the time. Cardcaptor, fantastic. Again, if you just loved the anime and you thought, I need this but gayer, come over here. Because it's so good. It's really, it's a short series too. And now another one this is almost like different universes. I love ROD, Read or Die, Paper Masters. This series is probably one of my favorites of all time. But the movie, the TV show, this version and this version have like nothing in common with each other. It's like same characters in fully different universes, basically. Like different decisions have been made. So the original Paper Master is in this one and in the movie. And I can't even like tell you to like watch one over the other. I'd say that the TV series was probably my favorite anime just ever. I would rewatch it at any time. And it involves the sisters. And these are then totally different stories about the Paper Sisters for this series. I would say watch the TV series anime first and then see if you like it and then watch the movie and then read the manga. That's the order I did it in. And I think it probably makes the most sense. The storylines begin to overlap in certain ways and you get certain more pieces of information, but they aren't the same. And then for someone who loved XXXholic, Tarot Cafe, this is a very different art style. You know what else? Oh, well, we won't get into it. Look at that. Look at the pretty art. Sang Sung Park. So this must be a Korean author then with that name. But like, I don't even remember this series very well, but clearly I loved it because I've got 7 volumes. I need to reread it because it's not like fresh in my mind. But I remember it having a vibe similar to XXXholic. It was really good. I wonder if this is the end. This probably isn't even. Probably there's more. Let's come on down. My favorite series, Nana. Oh my god. Nana Ayazawa, her style is so lovely. Let's choose one with both of them. Look at that. Her style is so lovely. The anime is fine. The live action movies, they worked really hard on, and I think they're pretty good. They don't have that sort of, that thing that you're not gonna get the same thing from the manga. The manga is the best version. But the music that they chose for the movies, they hired Larkenshell's lead singer Hyde to do one of the songs for it. And of course, I adore Larkenshell. So I really enjoyed that. And I love the actors that they chose for both versions because they changed up some of the actors in movie 2 from movie 1. It was good. But this series, and I know she was hospitalized. Ayazawa was hospitalized and never finished. And I don't have all of the volumes. I think there's like 2 more. I hope there's 2 more. But she didn't finish the series. She got hospitalized for like, it was a long time. It was like 2 years or something crazy like that. And she never finished it. And so there's sort of an ending that I was able to find and read online, finally, after like years of waiting. But it doesn't wrap up we were just getting to like the tragedies. And then it doesn't like fully finish. And so it's one of those that's like, it's so near and dear to me just because I wanted it so badly. Like I wanted it to finish up. It was so engaging and so very slice of life. It's about, rival rock bands essentially. But it's about like life and living and like growing up and being a human and being friends with somebody. And it's so beautifully written. All her stories are beautifully written. I'd also recommend The Last Quarter, the movie too. I loved the movie, even though it's very Japanese, it's very slow paced. Also has Hyde in it. I will love Hyde so much. Last Quarter I would also recommend by her. I don't have the actual physical. I could not find the actual physical manga back in the day. I had to pirate it. Don't tell anyone. But yeah, if I could ever find that, I would definitely have Last Quarter. And then Paradise Kiss is her other one that she's really well known for. And that one's really cute too. A lot of sex in her stories, but then there is in Sailor Moon too, if you're reading the manga. So there you go. My favorite series of all time. You can see how beat up these ones are. I think I've even talked about Dean Angel before. This is my favorite series. I think the art is stunning. I think the story is wonderful and it gets better and better. It's nuanced, it's gorgeous. But this is another one that I think it wasn't as popular. It was so popular in my heart, and I don't think it was as popular like in Japan because she didn't finish it. For some reason, I have 2 number 7s. Anyone want a number 7 here? I have a more pristine one. Anyone want a number 7? How do I have 2 number 7s and then no what's going on here? What happened to some of my volumes? Why do I have 2 of this one? But anyway, maybe I'll trade that one in and try and get the other ones I need. It's so deep. It's art thieves and magic, and it was so beautiful. Also kind of gay. It just never finished, and so it kind of just left on this big cliffhanger, and I was always kind of craving it. The anime was not that good, you guys. The music was actually very beautiful, but the anime was suffering from not being that well animated, and her art style is just so unique. It's so unique and so detailed and beautiful that I think probably they just couldn't get that exact look to it, and so it doesn't look as good. But I loved this series so much, and when I reread it recently, like, I loved it again. Now let's get over here. Let's start this side because there are just a bunch of like random ones. Get Backers. I freaking loved Get Backers. I got the first volume and then like stopped buying manga, but I did read more of it. I think a friend had it or something. Attack on Titan is actually my husband's. Again, I just wasn't buying a lot of manga. That actually was probably one of the more recent ones I bought. I bought that for him because he loves that series and we just didn't finish it up. Full Metal Alchemist, I loved the anime. And I had been borrowing a friend's manga, and I think I had intended to get my own series of the manga and only got the first one. So that's all I have. Tactics, I think, was one I was just maybe experimenting with and bought the first 2 and just didn't continue. I'll have to reread it. I don't remember anything about it at all, honestly. Monochrome Factor, same kind of thing. And I'm guessing I got these ones as they probably when Borders was closing. This one that has a very vampire-y look, very like gay vampire, right? Like, it's probably something that if I went back, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's why I was reading it. But I remember nothing. Buso Renken is actually my husband's, so I have not read these, but probably will. Peacemaker is also husband's. And then Naruto. I was so into Naruto, you guys. 14 volumes. I was like, as they were dropping, I was picking them up. And then I stopped for a long time. And I think a friend gave me these too as they were coming out. I was so into Naruto and I was like following the series like religiously. And in the first series, in the anime, they get into that, like, there's like 100 episodes of straight up filler, you guys. I just couldn't handle the filler anymore. I need any kind of plot. I need any episode where the main characters or the side characters in any way pertain to the episode. It's not just about other people completely, like anything. And yeah, no, that didn't happen until it switched over to Shippuden, and then it got kind of good again, but there's just too many episodes out. I've never caught all the way back up. I've never gotten through the war. Someday I'll catch back up because it's just, Naruto's a frustrating series. They're like, here are these amazing characters, especially the female characters, strong, powerful, incredible, nuanced, but they're not going to do anything, and they're always going to let the boys do everything, and they're always going to stand on the sidelines and only cheer, even if they're the most powerful person in the room. And that just kind of, it got to me after a while. It really drove me crazy. It was just like, it's like he wanted to have these really cool female characters, but he was just too damn sexist to like allow them to just be their characters. So that was frustrating. And then like finding out that Sakura ends up with Sasuke, even though the only thing that possibly makes sense for anyone to forgive Sasuke is that Naruto is in love with him. Let's be honest. That's the only reason Sasuke not getting like tried and held for murders makes any sense. We won't go there. Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail is a really fun series. It's great. It's fun. I was reading these volumes as they were coming out, and I think this is as far as it got before I was just no longer buying manga. Then I watched the anime, and the anime is phenomenal. The most beautiful animation. It was fun. It was beautiful. It was amazing. At some point, like in the middle of a season, way towards the end, they clearly switched animation teams, and the animation just dropped off, and I was like, wait, this story can't be sustained without the beautiful animation. So I stopped watching. I didn't finish it. And of course, I never went back to keep buying the manga, so I don't know how different the series is from that, but oh well. Azumanga Daioh, really, really fun anime. The manga is very much like the anime. If you like that kind of humor, phenomenal. And then Our Kingdom, I don't remember much about this one, but this is another one. I was in phase. I have these huge ones. Why do I have these ginormous? Azumanga Daioh, I think, just came this way, but 2 enormous ones. Okay, and then just like extra things that I happen to have. I think this is my husband's as well. Art of Full Metal Alchemist, because it is beautiful art. And then down here, I have mostly just I have other things too. You want to see what kind of a nerd I am? Does anyone know what this is? The Mighty Book of Boosh? Yeah, that's right. I was into the Mighty Boosh like nobody's business. So these are mostly not anime down here. By V for Vendetta and The Watchmen, and of course Squee and Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. Oh my god, what a good series. This one, phenomenal satire. I have several volumes of Rat Queens, which was gifted to me by a friend. Those are excellent. Moss is, of course, phenomenal. I actually read this for a class. Amazing series. Not going to pull any punches about the Holocaust, but showing the horrors in the metaphor of mice. Nimona, dude, there is a movie coming out. Like now, it's about to drop. This was such a good graphic novel. This is phenomenal. Honestly, I cannot wait for the movie. I will probably make a movie review because I loved it so much. I know I've talked about Nimona before. It is so good. Watch the movie. Watch it with me. The day it comes out, let's all watch it together. I hope this video goes up by then. We'll see. Fun Home, also phenomenal. By now, you probably even heard of the musical with fantastic singing and the Bechdel test you've heard of, but this was the volume that I read because it was recommended by someone in my literature class, and it is fantastic. Growing coming of age. This one is my husband's. Also Korean though. Sungwoo Park. That's a Korean name. For some reason, I have some random volumes of, oh my gosh, they're stuck together. Oh, we won't pull them apart then. I think these were my little brothers, but they ended up with me. These Pokemon graphic novels. I'll have to try and carefully separate those. Oh, this is probably one of my most read books. I totally knew Sailor Venus was my girl. She is my favorite. She's everything. I think she's the greatest. She's also like very much the leader of the Sailor Scouts, and I feel like the anime always kind of lessened her role a bit, but she is very much the leader in the actual stories. I have Ice Haven, which I read for my graphic novel course in college. I have Arashi Around the World is here. I was so into Arashi. Oh my gosh, I opened right to Nino. Nino was my bias. Let's put you back in there. This is just some random things. I have this gorgeous, again, so disappointed with the creator. I guess I should just say he turned out to be a pedophile. Hindsight is that it kind of makes sense based on sort of the age gaps in the characters that are romantically involved together. But, you know, at the time I didn't realize, and I loved this series so much. I loved Kenshin so much. Like, I'm trying to separate the love I have for it from the fact that the creator's a terrible person. These, though, are my husband's. Oh, here's the other. Oh, Fullmetal Alchemist Profiles. Just some fun extra material. This is an Animal Crossing sticker book. Okay, and then I have a random assortment of Doctor Who comics. These are pretty beat up. I think they were beat up when I got them too. And this is my mom's doctor. These are probably my mom's, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, she was into Doctor Who back in the day, back before it was cool with the fourth Doctor. So those are her doctor. That is almost everything. Let's go over here. Look, there's pie. This is where I put my Umbrella Academy because I made the shelves too short for it. So they're over here along with blankets, this is a graphic novel. This was pretty heavy. Another one I read for my, yeah, that's everything. Here, I'll come back over to the shelf here. Yeah, let me know what you think. Did you read any of these manga? Do you have any recommendations for me? Where are you getting your manga now? I was getting it at the bookstores, but I don't even know if that's like a thing. Used bookstores are so hit or miss about things, and they always have like the newer stuff now too. So I'm not even sure I'm gonna get the ones that are missing, but I hopefully will be able to get them someday so I can complete the collections. But yeah, let me know what you think. Did you know I was this big of a nerd? I feel like if you didn't know, maybe you weren't paying enough attention. But now I can put all the things up that are going to cover some of these. All of my like stuffed animals and stuff are going to go up. So I'm going to do that, and I will talk to you again very soon. Good luck to you, and good luck to all of us. Bye.